Hey, back with an O's update, end of the season. And, oh, my full screen went weird. There it goes. All right. So, as you can see, the O's won the AL East thanks to a weak AL East this year. 90 wins was enough to win the division. So, the O's stalled some in July and August and then really went on a run in September. Overall, decent season. Would have liked to have won a few more games than that. Uh, as you can see, I'm kind of stuck here on like the 90 win mark for some reason. So let's see, 88, 92, 89, 89, 90, 90. My owner's probably like, man, we won this many games with a payroll of 94 million. Now we're at 153 million. So yeah, let me go back here. So 90 wins the division. And let's go ahead and look at the team here. We'll sort it by WAR. Dylan Carlson put up 6.5 WAR and a 147 runs created plus, 34 bombs. Really great season from him. That trade's worked out really well. Cole Tucker, very excellent season with 6.4 WAR and a 132 runs created plus, an excellent glove. Jason Rosario, pending free agent, who, man, I've tried to talk him into it, but looking like he's probably going to hit the market because he's like 27 and wants about a 10-year deal. So I don't do that. I don't do 10-year deals. So 5.4 WAR for him. As hard as it is to let a premier center fielder go, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to re-sign him. And then Nick Matan, in just 112 games, put up 3.7 WAR. That's because he plays only versus righties, basically. And you can see his batting splits here. Let's go ahead and look at the basic. Yeah, see a 123 OPS plus against righties, and he doesn't play against lefties. I don't know if I said that opposite before. So in 39 plate appearances, a 21 OPS plus. So he's a platoon bat, but a strong side platoon. And he's also a free agent. He's been on my team for a while. We'll see what happens. We've got playoffs to tackle before we get into that. But a 118 runs created plus. This was the story of the season. Miguel Soto, rookie, came up halfway through the year, put up 2.4 WAR in 72 games with a 139 runs created plus. Second only to Dylan Carlson on the team there in runs created plus. Campusano really trade off. He was still good defensively. Henderson, really disappointing year offensively for him, 84. So he took a step backwards, and we've been waiting for him to turn into the next guy. Ramos, these stats are more than just his O's stats. For the O's, he had 142 games, a 123 OPS plus. We'll take it. He plays against lefties. Ryan Mountcastle, big time disappointing season from him. 95 runs created plus, just 1.3 WAR. He's 30. Hopefully this isn't the beginning of a steep decline. Hopefully it's just, a down year, but we'll see. We'll see. 118 runs created or OPS plus on him last year. Reese Albert only played 92 games because he missed a lot of time, but really he did not do well when he came back. His OPS plus and runs created plus are both below 100, dropped to a 90. Riley Green, very good in limited playing time. He's got his eye on a roster spot next year. Drew Bowser was totally adequate as a glove-first utility guy. I'll get back to Franmil Reyes. Diego Cartaya was awful as my backup catcher after he started the season hot. Franmil Reyes, those are his combined stats. All we are worried about is how he did on the Orioles against lefties. And he had an 87 run OPS plus against lefties. So that didn't work out too well. Against righties, he was a negative 61. So he actually, when I checked in like middle of September, he was mashing against lefties for me. So I guess he went cold down the stretch. So that's a bummer. But so that's the hitting side of things. Pitching, Luis Patino put up 4.1 WAR, 16 wins, only struck out 7.9 per 9, but kept the ball in the yard. Asa Lacy kept the ball in the yard. A guy's normally around 1.4 home runs per 9, 1.5, all the way down to 1.1 this year. He only made 21 starts because he missed 2 months, but put up 2.6 WAR. Delgado missed some starts as well, 2.4 WAR. Cedarland, totally adequate as a number four starter there. Mitchell Stone down here, really solid season for him as a fifth starter who had kind of fallen out of favor coming into the season, but he put up 1.4 WAR. He threw 185 innings, and he was just solid as a fifth starter, which is all you need. And then Jimenez was awesome. Andrews was good. Feltman was good. Rest of the bullpen struggled some, but all in all, the bullpen got a lot better as the year went on, so that's good. As you can see, the bullpen ERA ended up 9th. It kind of fluctuated between like 8th and 12th at different times. Starters ERA 3rd, and we ended up 3rd in the league in runs allowed. 2nd and 1st in the fielding ratings. first in a bunch of offensive categories, but third in runs scored, fourth in slugging, because we're only eighth in home runs. So as you can see here, we had 2 really bad months: June 10 and 17, July 14 and 10, and then August 10 and 16. But then went 21 and 7 in September. We were really flirting with like 500, and we're only like a game or two up in the division at some point. I was getting worried, but then we got hot in September and kind of ran away with it. And other 40-man guys who factored in, Maldonado didn't come back up, but he went down to AAA and murdered the ball. A 246 OPS plus. He hit 14 home runs and 15 doubles in 178 plate appearances, a 418 average. So I called him straight up from AA, where he's playing well. Really, really struggled up in the majors for me in 61 plate appearances, then went down and put up like a historic 40-game run in Norfolk. Just crushed it. Colin Hall, he'll be in the mix next year. He bounced back at AAA pretty well. Gerber was up a little bit. Williams and Barracierta were up a little bit, but didn't play major roles. Let's see, who else? Jamie Chisholm. Vukovic, hopefully will factor in next year. He murdered the ball in AA and AAA for me this year. What else we got going on here? Gage Bradley is out hurt, but could be a guy who, is in the bullpen next year. Corrigan, after being one of my best relievers last year, down in Norfolk because he struggled so much, but he lit it up. Jaden Hill pitched well in limited opportunities. Same with Jack Perkins. They both pitched well in limited opportunities for me this year. They'll factor into the back end of the rotation next year, maybe. Dylan Lawson, like Corrigan, could be one of my better relievers, but just struggled this year, and he didn't make the playoff roster because I'm carrying an extra hitter. I believe I'm carrying 14 hitters for the playoffs. For the first round anyways, going to pitcher shorter. So as you can see, my AAA team is stocked. I have a bunch of guys who deserve call-ups, pretty much half the team, and that's why the Norfolk Tides ended the year going 93 and 47. So my team is pretty well stocked a lot of my minor league teams did pretty well. Pretty much all but one or two of them was above 500, and most of them well above 500. So next we've got the Texas Rangers in a best of 5. And let's go ahead and meet the Rangers here. So let's go to their info page. The layout's better there. So they had a terrible offense, 14th in the AL in runs scored, but they're pitching first in runs allowed, starting pitching first in ERA, bullpen fourth. They started out the year great, but then they went 8 and 16 in July, 13 and 14 in September. They ended up having to play the Astros in the wild card game, I think, and beat them. Let's see. Let me double check that. Yeah, so they beat the Astros in the wild card game, but one thing they did is they used both their top 2 starters in that game. Gill started and Halter came in at one point. So I'm facing Jack Leiter, who was the first overall pick in 2022, and he's honestly awesome. I mean, 4.8 WAR, and they got him listed as their number 3 starter. Must be nice. Yeah, Halter put up 6.1 WAR. Gill was a 4.5 WAR guy. Kyle Crick looks like a pretty elite reliever here, who they claimed on waivers from the Yankees, and he put up a 3.6 WAR season for them out of nowhere. Cool. All right. And then lineup-wise, they've still got Joey Gallo hitting in the middle of their lineup. They have Nolan Arenado. No crap. Oh, Arenado. Wow. So Arenado was terrible for them this year. 0.0 WAR in 636 plate appearances at the age of 36. Interesting. So he's a good glove, no bat, I guess. That's why their team selects. Oh, they have Giancarlo Stanton, too. No crap. Who they signed to a minor league deal after he was released by the Yankees in the middle of the season. And he's terrible. I wonder if he'll even be on their postseason roster. Might not be. So, anyways, that's the O's. We won the division. We are on our way to the ALDS to take on the Rangers. And feeling good about taking on we tied for the lead in wins in the AL this year. And run differential, we were way above the next best. We were 96. Next best was 65, the Astros. So that 96 was really the Padres were better than that. The Brewers were better than that. So we were tied for the third best run differential in the league. That's pretty impressive. And, just went 22 and 23 in one-run games. If we'd had a little better luck there, maybe our record would be a little better, but 91 and 71 was our expected. We went 90 and 72. And, I'm probably not going to broadcast any of the ALDS, but if I get to the World Series, I will, or maybe if I get to the ALCS and I'm a game away from clinching, I'll do it. So hopefully my next broadcast will be a live broadcast of some October baseball or November.